Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning. There's a question that I wanted to pose to you guys. And the question is, are you scared to grow? Are you scared? Are you afraid to grow? So this came to me. Wow. Good morning. Good morning. This question came to me while I was planting. And if you guys read the Bible, you know there's a lot of biblical stories with the analogy to farming. And as I was planting and, watering my plants and so on and so forth, I had become a plant mama during 2020. And so they're growing, they're flourishing, and one of my plants just looked like it's outgrown its pot. Okay? It looked like it has outgrown its pot. So I'm here pouring water in it, and I'm thinking to myself like, I gotta repot this plant. And I don't really do things like that, right? It will be my first experience really repotting a huge plant like that. It's a Monisserat, something like that. Can't really remember the name, but it's huge, right? And I'm thinking like, if I repot this plant, I don't want it to die, what do I do? So instead of repotting it for right now, I pruned it. I pruned my plant because I noticed that there were some dead stems, dead leaves in this plant. And I realized if I don't prune it before I repot it, there's a chance that it can disease some of the plant, right? So pruning may cause the plant to grow and flourish the way that it needs to. And repotting it, if you don't know what you're doing, you can repot it wrong, not put enough soil, like all this feeling of overwhelm came over me with repotting this plant. And so I thought to myself, ooh, this is much like your life. Are you scared to grow? Are you afraid to grow? Because growing comes with work. It comes with growing pains. It comes with not knowing what direction you're going to go in, what to do, what's going to happen in this new space, in this new pot, this new season of flourishing. You really don't know until you just get out there and try it. And then before you go, you want to make sure it's perfect, that the setting is right, that you know what you're doing. So a lot of us are scared to grow, and we stay in this small pot. And when you continue to stay in a small pot, you stifle your growth. But what happens to a plant that never gets repotted, stays in a small pot? One or two things happen. It will force its way to grow anyway. The pot will break. Okay? And then it dies. The other, you stifle its growth and it die anyway in the small pot. God is saying it is your season to grow, but you're too afraid to repot yourself, to go to the next place, to take the next step, to stretch yourself, okay, to enlarge your territory, okay? You're afraid. But guess what? It's normal. It's okay. Do it afraid. Do it afraid. And when you are afraid or you're overwhelmed, guess what happens? You procrastinate. Yes, I'm going deep, baby, this morning. This was the word that came to me all week long. And I was like, God, I see myself in this plant. I feel like the plants can teach you so much about life. That's why a lot of biblical scriptures liken to farming and stuff like that, right? And so when you're overwhelmed, you procrastinate and you don't take the next step, okay? Now, you have to ask yourself, why do you feel overwhelmed? Why are you refusing to take the next step? And in your ego mind is because you're You want things to be perfect. So now you're stuck in perfectionism. You're here saying to yourself, okay, I have to make sure it's the right setting. I have to make sure this is set up. And partially that is done to try to make sure you don't fail. Try to set precedents to avoid failure. And when I look at failure in my past experiences, I realize that failure is meant to happen. You cannot win unless you fail. Failure are only learned lessons. They're here to give you growth. So you afraid to grow because you're fearful of failing. And what do they say? Failure is not of God. Because God knows what He's doing. He knows what you need, the amount of water, the amount of sunlight that a plant needs. These plants outside, they don't need no one taking care of them, yet they grow. Even the weeds grow. And you like, man, why these weeds keep growing? And you have to find something to continuously put in your yard to kill it, or else they will continue to grow. That's like us. That's like the plant. They will force growth. God will push you into growth. Okay? And I find that failure gets you ready for that season. Pruning gets you ready for that season. But a lot of you guys are scared to be pruned too. Because you're afraid of what? Isolation. You're afraid of isolation. Because that's what pruning does. Pruning is for the person itself. You have to have the ability to detach. Now, this is a word I heard about 2 years ago within my spirit, detach. And I was like, God, what does that mean? What does that look like? And it wasn't until I started to be pruned that I realized how important it was for you to detach in order to get to your destination. How important isolation was for your elevation. Okay, I know you hear that a lot, and I don't really want to preach to you, but it's in me. I can't help myself. That's just the person I am. Because these are life experiences that we all will experience in some point of our lives. And so you really have to face yourself to see what is holding you back from growing. And so in this place of isolation, I've always been this person who become attached to people. I'm a lover of people. I want to help people. But I realized that I was not watering my own plant, watering everyone else. And then my bucket is empty. And it's not being refilled in order to water my own plant. And so I realized that some people were just sucking the nutrients and minerals from me, right? And none was giving back to me. So God said, you need to be pruned. You got some dead leaves around you. You got some dead, diseased stems around you. And they're attached to you. They're attached to you. And they could potentially disease the whole entire plant. Okay? And that goes with diseasing your mindset. Okay? To where you believe you're attached to this person. So you guys are having conversation and you believing the things that they're sharing with you. They're cultivating your belief system as well as you're cultivating theirs. And some of people don't want to see you grow any further than where you are, because that's all they can see you as, is where you are right now. But you know, and God knows how much further you can go. So it's time for you to detach. You may be in the season of being pruned, okay? Where isolation is key to your growth. And detaching is key to your growth. Isolation is so key because in order for you to elevate, God needs to put you in position, okay? You don't have to put yourself in position. Stop thinking that, because that's where the overwhelm come in. Let God put you in position, and sometimes that position looks like isolation, where this person is coming out of your life. This thing done failed. That relationship done failed. This failed. And you're wondering, like, what is going on? Is it me? Is it me? And so that's why it's so important to detach, because yes, it is you. And let me tell you why it's you. It is because God desires something more for you, and you cannot see it with these dead stems. Sorry, somebody keep calling me. So let me get to the next step. Don't get stuck in perfectionism either. Okay, don't get stuck. Wanting to grow, but you can't grow because you're stuck in perfectionism. Okay, God called you to do something, but you want it to be perfect, and so you don't move. That's a lie. You do not have to be perfect in order to grow. Okay? The space and place that God has for you will be perfect for you, with its pitfalls and up and downs. Okay? So if you're in this season, allow the space and the grace for your isolation to grow, to heal from whatever bad relationships that you encountered. Detach from those things and know that God is with you and you are sufficient enough. You are all you need. Don't tell these lies to yourself saying, I needed this relationship so I can grow, or thinking it was because of other people why you was where you are. Yes, God leads you to people to get to acquired destination, but they're not supposed to be there the whole entire way. Okay? Not the whole. They have their own path. You have your own path. It aligned for a time, and now it's time to detach for another elevation. Same for them too. There's no shade, but y'all evolving in different areas and places. You're different people. Okay? So detach and go with the flow of what God has for you, your intended path. Okay? Oh, I said a lot. So if you find yourself in this place and you realize you're scared to grow, really look deeper. Why are you scared to grow? Are you afraid to fail? Fear is not of God. God knows what he's doing when you fail. He knows the lessons that you needed. Y'all, let me get off of here because my husband keeps calling me, interrupting my live. And I know it's not important, but he just needs to speak to me. So let me go give him my time. But I just wanted to share this word with you guys. And I thank y'all for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to go here and share it here. But I'm going to do more of these. So if you find yourself up at this time with nothing to do, make sure to check. Subscribe to my live so you never miss one. I'll be doing more of these because I realized to evolve and progress in your business as well, that there's a lot of spiritual evolution that needs to happen as well. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Do it afraid anyway. Fail until you win. Okay? Keep going. Keep pressing. You got this. I'm with you. Keep watching our lives. Peace and blessings to all of you.